Hello, I would like to welcome everybody to today's webinar on BlackBerry Keeps Your Business Moving. We're very excited as today we have Harry Brailsford and Michael Petrelli as our speakers. Before we get started, I want to touch base on a couple housekeeping items. First of all, today's webinar is being recorded, and I'll be sure to send you an email within the next 48 hours on where the webinar is posted so you can rewatch it. Also, we encourage everybody to ask questions. So use the questions feature within the webinar system, and we'll be sure to answer those at the end of the webinar. Now I'd like to introduce Harry Brailsford to get us started.
Okay, and good morning, and thank you, Jenny Hallmark. Hey, Jenny, interestingly, and folks, thank you for showing up on time, and here's why. We have recently had a time zone change, and more often this week than not, I have had to work with professionals. This is shocking, Jenny. I have had to work with professionals on minor time adjustment issues, especially if they're overseas and so on. And it's a little shocking. So folks, if you can't tell time, go to timeanddate.com. But I'm assuming you can tell time because you're here. But I just wanted to highlight that with the recent time zone, the time change for Pacific, in our case, PDT, Pacific Daylight Time. It's got some people tripped up. So enough of the humor. We're here for some very serious reasons. A couple of upfront announcements. BlackBerry is once again a platinum sponsor for our SMB 150 dinner, the awards dinner at Microsoft Redmond, May 4th. Got a little bit of a Cinco de Mayo theme going on because May 5th is Cinco de Mayo. It's always a lot of fun, and if you're not, award winners, of course, are complimentary. If you're not an award winner, there's an opportunity for you to sign up and attend both the awards dinner and our spring conference that surrounds it. The award information is at smb150.com. The spring conference information is at spring.smbnation.com. And what I would say to those that want to consider this BlackBerry-sponsored dinner, the SMB 150 Awards, is that it's kind of like ski racing. It's kind of like the way I raced Nordic ski in Alaska, that I hung out with the people that were winning the races. They beat me by 6 minutes because I wanted to get better versus hanging out with maybe my best friend who was middle of the pack, back of the pack with me. I wasn't going to improve. And that's why I would encourage you to come to the BlackBerry-sponsored SMB 150 Awards Dinner May 4th at Microsoft Redmond, and also sign up and take in our 7th annual spring conference. Other exciting news is we are talking about something really cool with the BlackBerry 10. I got mine last Friday. I implemented it over the weekend. I'm going 30 days with the BlackBerry 10. Not surprisingly, my teenage son, Harry, 14 years old, is helping me. He's got a BlackBerry playbook. He's got it bridged. Nothing like a kid to get there further and faster than Dad. So we're working together on that, and we like what we see. If you go up to smbnation.com and click back on the blog calendar for Monday, you will see my initial report. Monday, Tuesday, I think I published Monday. Look on the blog calendar to the right at smbnation.com, and you will get my initial take on the BlackBerry 10. I have a long way to go, but I give you some early feedback, and I talk about the balance feature and so on. So we'll get into all more of that now, and now is, in fact, the appropriate time. So I have Michael Petrelli. So Michael, are you from Canada? Let's start with that. Are you joining us from across the border?
Yes, I am. I'm in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, here at BlackBerry headquarters.
Excellent, excellent. Well, why don't we just jump right into it, sir? I'm sure you'll be introducing yourself in the presentation. Let's rock and roll.
Okay, thanks, Harry, and good morning and good afternoon to everyone again. My name is Michael Petrelli. I am a Senior Sales Enablement Manager here at BlackBerry as part of the Enterprise Business Unit. And that group is really focused on delivering our business-oriented solutions to all segments of business customers, from enterprise down to medium and small business. So this is my 13th year at BlackBerry, so I've seen a tremendous evolution in the space of mobility, seen a fantastic growth in our company. The last couple of years has been challenging for us as we've embarked upon a technology platform transition. But I have to say I've never been as excited with the opportunities that are in front of us, aided along by our new BlackBerry 10 platform. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. And I wanted to talk a little bit about our heritage, primarily in the enterprise space, and we'll talk about how this then translates into what we do in other business segments. But we do have the largest global footprint for MDM, or mobile device management, in the world, and this is really delivered through our BlackBerry Enterprise Server platform as the business enabler for our smartphones that are commonly used in enterprises and businesses around the world. We've had this success for a few reasons, one of them being that we've been committed to security, management, and control of mobile devices in business, understanding the sensitivity and the requirements of business data and information that is in use and being transmitted over the air to now, which could be hundreds and thousands of endpoints of your network outside of your corporate walls. So that's something that's been very important to us as we continue to evolve our platform and ensure that these standards remain priorities. We've seen a tremendous shift in how enterprises deploy and businesses deploy mobile devices, from companies buying the devices and delivering them to their end users on their own, to now an influx of the bring your own device trend, embracing consumer technology, but we realize that it also brings many challenges in managing and securing these devices. So we are committed to delivering solutions that help businesses with all forms of mobile deployments that they may embark upon. And development tools and support and the focus on an ecosystem is incredibly important to us, because we realize that any one of these pieces in themselves does not contribute to a unified platform and can introduce more challenges than it does productive benefits. So the way we've really highlighted our core values is identified by the pillars here, from device management to security, applications, and unified communications. And we realize that within a business there are multiple constituents. There's the decision makers and those that are managing the devices, but as important is the users who are using these devices to conduct their business and are expecting these to allow them to be productive. And so our focus on device management, security, applications, unified communication is something that we are going to continue to ensure is part of the BlackBerry DNA, regardless of what we deliver to market in terms of platform software, devices, partnerships with leading business partners, and we'll make sure that we carry these through our platform as long as we possibly can. And so we feel that in the areas of security and device management, we are the industry leaders there, and we'll talk about how we kind of branch out beyond traditional BlackBerry management in those spaces. And applications, we'll talk a little more about applications specifically later in the presentation. And unified communications, and really what we're talking about here is taking all of the things that you do and you have access to in your day-to-day business. We know email and personal information is becoming a commodity. Those are, again, core to our DNA and providing access to those. But we also realize that more services and applications are being utilized in business, such as enterprise instant messaging services, collaboration tools, and even desk phones, that the ability to integrate all of these together on your BlackBerry device and ensure that we continue to push the envelope in terms of productivity beyond just email and personal information. So that's really been our heritage in the enterprise, but we see how this translates down into small and medium business as well, and we recognize that business leaders are driven by success. It's the little things that can sometimes create the biggest results, and we also realize that large-scale IT investments are just not something that are embarked upon by small and medium businesses to the extent as they are in the enterprise. So things like just being able to respond faster to customers creates a tremendous customer experience. Being able to communicate and collaborate with your colleagues, whether it's 5 of them, 10 of them, 50 of them, we all know we can get work done quicker when we have access to people and resources at our fingertips. And the criticalness of a device that is enjoyed not only by those who are deploying and managing mobility in a business because of the way it allows them to keep control and keep their valuable assets secure, but also a device that is going to be used by and appreciated by the individual who has to carry it around every day and is relying on this to help them do their job, but also stay in touch with their personal life. So that's a key focus for us. And obviously cost and ease of deployment is critical, and we'll talk about some new and flexible ways of connecting and deploying these devices that we've never had in the past. So we'll talk about some of the values that BlackBerry 10, and we'll start with the device itself, offers to business users. So as you know, so across the top are the capabilities that we introduce, and across the bottom is really how this helps these users as they're utilizing these devices every day. So BlackBerry Hub is really a replacement for the messages icon, for example, on your BlackBerry device. So if any of you have a BlackBerry, you'll notice that right on the home screen in BlackBerry OS devices, your bulbs and your curves and your torches, you're always going to have that messages icon there. And you go in there and you'll have access to your email and other feeds that are coming into your device. BlackBerry Hub is really our new centralized and unified inbox, so to speak. And you won't see a messages icon on that device anymore. But a simple swipe up and to the right from the bottom of the device will present you with the hub. And as you can see there, you can peek into the hub from wherever you are on the device. So you may be in application, a BlackBerry World, which is represented there in the first screenshot. You may be watching a movie. You may be browsing the internet, and you may have a notification, the traditional BlackBerry red light that flashes when you have something come in. You may not be sure if you need to action that or not, but the peek feature allows you to peek into the hub and see what's been delivered to you. If you want to action that, you can continue and complete the swipe all the way to the right, bringing you right into the hub, or you can just let it flip back to the left and continue with whatever you were doing in the past. But all of the feeds that are coming at people every day, whether it's email, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, whether it's business collaboration tools or instant messaging, whether it's LinkedIn, we know these are just coming at people a mile a minute. But we bring these all together into the BlackBerry Hub, and as we say, it's always one thumb swipe away. Now, the keyboard has been a critical DNA piece for BlackBerry smartphones over the years, and we have seen, though, the market take a tremendous shift into the all-touch segment, and we definitely appreciate the need to deliver a device that a new generation of users are expecting in all touch, and that's what we've done. We have not eliminated the BlackBerry keyboard as a part of our DNA, but in this instance, we've delivered a virtual keyboard, touch keyboard, that is unparalleled in the market in terms of capability and use. And so you'll see a few little things there, even in the image, such as typing away and words are appearing over the top of your letters, and a simple swipe up with your thumb will place that word in sequence. And the really interesting and smart thing about this capability is that as you use the device more, it will understand the logic and the patterns of the way you type sentences out. So it will become smarter in terms of what words it appears and delivers over top of your letters as you use the device more often. And other things like a single swipe to the left on the keyboard, anywhere on the keyboard, will delete an entire word as opposed to needing to tap the delete key multiple times. And so we have seen the BlackBerry roadmap for the Q10 device, which is planned to be delivered in the summer time frame, with a physical keyboard, and that's obviously going to be used by many people. But for me, being a physical keyboard guy for the last 12 years, and now moving to this Z10 device with the virtual keyboard, this might be the device I continue to use moving forward.
Hey, Michael, if you don't mind, I'll kind of ask a couple of questions here. So on the keyboard, and just to make sure I heard properly, when will the physical keyboard device be out again, please?
We're sort of positioning this as a kind of a Q2, Q3 calendar year launch. This is going to be dependent on each wireless carrier around their release schedules, but that's the general time frame. Yep.
Okay. Okay, cool. And then already in my work with the BlackBerry 10, what I found, it is a good keyboard, by the way. I mean, it's comparable to some of the nicer phones I've used, so there wasn't any drama there. What I liked was the suggestions and the autocorrect appear conveniently kind of in four corners of the keyboard as you're typing a familiar word. And, you know, we all know the drill on this phone. You can not have to type the whole word. You can kind of accept the suggestion by touching the suggested word. But that was nice, the way you had that kind of placed in the four corners of the keyboard screen to, in a sense, preserve real estate over at the over in the actual text. And it also, the suggestions move. So if you go over to a key, let me look at my QWERTY. If you go over to the letter Z or the letter P, the suggestions would dynamically move out of the way. So I don't know what magic you're doing, but it's cool.
Yeah, that's what some people refer to it as, magic. So it's, we refer to it as innovation, which has always been core for BlackBerry, and we're really happy that we can continue to be innovative with these new products. And innovation is carried through into BBM, which has been a tremendous social platform for our BlackBerry users. With just under 80 million users globally, we're pushing 65 million users who are of those users who are using BBM. And for any of you that have used it, the capabilities around delivery receipts, read receipts, instant sharing of pictures and documents, has provided a tremendous platform. And we're carrying those values over into BBM on BlackBerry 10 and introducing some new capabilities as well, such as BBM video. So the ability to click on your BBM contact and initiate a video chat session as is depicted in the image here, but also a screen share. So you'll see the three buttons there, or the four buttons there. The top button that has the two devices put beside each other. Clicking on that will allow the person on the other end to see what is on your screen. Now I have a few family members that were using just acquire their own BlackBerry Z10s, and as I was helping them set them up, it was easy for me just to say, initiate a BBM video session with me, share your screen, show me what you're looking at, and I'll tell you what you need to do. I'll help you walk through that. And so traditionally I had to sit in front of them. They had to get me their device, if they wanted me to help them with something, but this allows us to do it from anywhere and much more quickly. So
yeah. If you don't mind, is it okay to kind of interrupt and annoy you along the way? Because I'm fired up. I'm using your product, so I'm going to have questions.
Sure.
I had not thought of it. I had not thought of it in terms of support. So I'm actually going to get a fresh sheet of paper as part of my review of your product and experience. I'm going to play with that. Now, part and partial to that is this the same video standard or chat with my BlackBerry Playbook? Because that would be very interesting if it were interchangeable. And I don't know. I'm just asking.
It does work off the same infrastructure. So we are actually doing a little bit of investigation on the opportunities to bring BlackBerry 10 to the Playbook platform as well, but it definitely works off the same infrastructure and the linkages to BlackBerry ID that have recently been created.
Okay, and hopefully do you hear that paper? Can you hear that? The paper turning, fresh sheet? All right, please continue.
Okay, great. And BlackBerry Balance. So we're going to talk about this a little later, so I won't get into this too much, but this is the ultimate capability that allows people to, as we say, balance their work life and their business life on a single device, and really starting to eliminate the need to carry two devices around if that's something that some people have been doing. So from the business side, those that are looking to either invest in mobility, deploy mobility, or manage it, there's some values that are very relevant to those segments in the business, and one of them is ensuring that you have a device that is going to be able to be either deployed by the company or connected by the company if it's brought in by an individual as their personal device. And there's a few capabilities that really contribute to our claim to support multiple mobility deployment methods. BlackBerry Balance is really one of those, and again, I have another slide on this, so I'm not going to get into this too much, but you might start to see, like, keep in mind that the work and personal tabs. That's really what we're going to talk about here, is the ability to have two personas on one device. And same with BlackBerry World. We'll talk a little more about this, but the ability to keep your work applications and your business and your personal applications separate, yet not impact the experience. But all of these we want to be clear, all of these are enabled by enrolling your BlackBerry 10 smartphone on BlackBerry Enterprise Service 10. And this is really the foundation of business capabilities on BlackBerry smartphones. And so BlackBerry Enterprise Server 5.x and earlier, which is being used in businesses worldwide today, is the foundation that has allowed us to propel ourselves into BlackBerry Enterprise Service 10 with a suite of new capabilities that are delivered there. And so BlackBerry Balance, let's get into this, because this is by far the most powerful and unique differentiator that is offered on BlackBerry 10 smartphones for use in business available today. We provide the ability to have a seamless dual persona environment on a single BlackBerry Z10 smartphone when it's enrolled into BlackBerry Enterprise Service 10. And what this means is, on one device now, with a simple swipe down from the top of the screen, you're presented with a personal and a work button. When you click on the personal button, you are brought into your personal space. And in there is an unrestricted access to your personal email, your personal social tools, your personal applications that you've downloaded from BlackBerry World, and the ability to do what you need as an individual on that device. You can control all of your settings in that space, and little to no impact from the business IT organization or those managing mobility in your business. At the same time, you have this work persona and this workspace that is on the device, and again, accessed by a simple swipe down from the top of the screen, clicking into the work button, and you're now presented with your workspace. And as you can see here, the background changes. The background and the wallpaper can be set by your business to identify a clear separation of work assets and personal assets. And in your workspace, you're presented with your work configured email accounts, your work enterprise or instant messaging services, and any applications that have been pushed to you or made available to you by the business as deemed necessary by those sort of making those decisions. But at the same time, what we have not done is fragmented the user experience. So the same look and feel, the same sort of gestures, the same capabilities are offered in both spaces, so it's very familiar to the user, but businesses can be confident that what's going on in the workspace is kept totally separated and totally secured from anything in the personal space. And to give you an example, if you open an email in your workspace and you try to copy and paste something, and you flip back into your personal space and you try to paste that into a personal email account or a social networking service, you're prompted with a message that says you're not allowed to copy and paste from work into personal. And so that's a level of separation that is built right down at the lowest levels in our software and in our hardware to ensure the privacy of both work data but also of personal applications.
Michael, quick question, and probably, in fact, well, I'll be exploring this more in blogging resources and so on, so I'll kind of leave out the depth to that. But at my first look into this, because I'm pretty excited, I really like the paradigm of, you know, the leisure and the work. And when you get a chance and the listeners get a chance, you'll see the video I attached to my initial BlackBerry 10 blog, where I walk between a business office sign outside, and next door is a distillery, so that represents work and pleasure, to make the point. But my question is this, that it looks like you need to implement BlackBerry Enterprise Server to take advantage of this feature. This is not necessarily a homeowner or consumer feature. Is that correct? Because that's what it looked like.
Yeah, that's correct, and that's by design, because we realize that as an individual, who doesn't mean you can't use your device for work, but the levels of separation, security, and management, and the requirements of those things are not necessarily there for certain businesses, and so your device will continue to be utilized for whatever you need it to be. You can still connect it to work services, and we'll talk a little bit about that later, but only if you're looking for an enhanced level of control management and the capability is when you need to have a BlackBerry Enterprise Service 10 deployed and your devices rolled into that.
Yes, because this would let myself and my 14-year-old son share the phone, and he would not be able to do destructive things in my work life. So.
Right. Right. Whether on purpose
Okay.
or by mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, please continue.
Great. So the second feature, and this is this capability of now a BlackBerry World for personal and work, is leveraging the BlackBerry Balance capability. So BlackBerry World is our new storefront for applications, but also now videos, movies, TV shows, and music. BlackBerry World is available in the personal space, and it is available on every device out of the box as a personal storefront. But flipping into the workspace, you now have a BlackBerry World for work. And what this does is allows the business to identify certain applications that are either valuable or required for their users, and to push those applications down to the device. And so there's a silent installation of applications that happens in the background, or there's just a simple referencing of that application on BlackBerry World as an optional app that users can go and download at their leisure as required. So again, another ability to segment the work and personal application space here through the BlackBerry Balance capability, and also this requires BlackBerry Enterprise Service 10 in order to achieve this. But if you don't have BES 10, then you will have unrestricted access to the BlackBerry World storefront, which we all have access to today. So, snapshot of BlackBerry Enterprise Service 10 here, and what we identify as the multi-platform enterprise mobility management solution. We feel BlackBerry smartphones deliver the highest value and the highest level of productivity to users and business, and we know that BlackBerry 10 smartphones are going to start making their way into business. There's also a lot of BlackBerry OS devices out there, but we also realize that there's other device platforms such as iOS and Android devices that are in the market as consumer devices and also being used in business to some extent. And there's a level of management required for those devices for some business organizations, depending on their size and the focus they put on managing mobility. And so BlackBerry Enterprise Service 10 not only provides the capabilities that we talked about for BlackBerry 10 smartphones around Balance and BlackBerry World for Work, but also provides a level of management against those iOS and Android devices. Because we realize that customers are potentially going to have a mixed environment of smartphones, but we do not believe that they need to have multiple platforms to manage this all. And that's where BlackBerry Enterprise Service 10 comes in as that unified and multi-platform solution. Now, we talked about BES 10 and some of the business focus capabilities that are delivered, but we've made a fundamental shift in the way that BlackBerry 10 smartphones, as just in themselves, are able to connect and synchronize content, whether it's personal or business. And so there's multiple options, and this really highlights the flexibility that's available in BlackBerry 10 to get to whatever services you might be using as an individual or as a user in business. So with the support of ActiveSync on BlackBerry 10 devices, we are now able to connect not only to cloud-based email services, whether it's Gmail accounts, Hotmail accounts, and the calendar and contact services that go along with those, but we're also able to do a direct ActiveSync connection to a company mail server, for example. So if somebody's using a mail server, but they don't feel they have the need for enhanced management controls or capabilities on their smartphones, then they can simply use ActiveSync to connect directly to the company mail server. And finally, secure management with BlackBerry Enterprise Service 10. And so the ability to deploy this platform that will deliver the capabilities such as BlackBerry Balance and BlackBerry World for Work and a secure connectivity model, something that has been our heritage for over a decade now in businesses that have their own on-premise mail servers. But really what we're saying is that regardless of what you're using as mail services, as other services that you want to have access to, BlackBerry 10 can connect to it all right out of the box. So applications has been such a hot topic in the last couple of years, and it's really driven people to rely more on their smartphones. And if you're like me, sometimes you might be sitting at home and your computer is sitting on the other side of the room, and you have the need to do something online. Sometimes, and lately, I'm reaching for my mobile device before I'm getting up and walking over to my computer, because there's now applications that are available to me to perform those tasks almost as well on my mobile device as it is on my computer. And that's really where the industry is going. That's where BlackBerry is going. And we realize there is a need to focus both on personal applications, but also for those using BlackBerry in business to ensure that we have strong relationships and partnerships with the key business application providers out there today. And that's something that we've done for a while and will continue to do, and we'll show a couple examples on the next slide of who those are and how we've been able to deliver some of those right out of the box with BlackBerry 10. But we've taken an absolutely tremendous focus on personal applications, and a little bit on the volume, because we realize that choice is something that's desired by many users out there, but also on quality. So making sure that cross-platform applications, so the top apps that are available on all of the other common mobile platforms out there, are also available on BlackBerry, and we feel we're there, if not very close. This morning we were pleased to make a press release highlighting that BlackBerry has now reached 100,000 applications that are available in the BlackBerry 10 App Store and BlackBerry World. And this is a 30,000 number increase from what we had at launch at the end of January. So I can't applaud our developer relations teams more, more than I have, and more than enough, because of the work they've done to elevate BlackBerry into the realm of every other mobile platform out there today. Now, on the business side, we've been able to partner with Cisco WebEx and Box to make sure these applications are available on the device, out of the box, to represent our commitment to users of BlackBerry 10 in business. Cisco WebEx, so we're on a WebEx right now, and a webinar, and Cisco being a top platform that is utilized in business, gives you the ability to initiate, to join calls, to be able to view slide sharing, anything that's going on in that WebEx. And I've used it a couple times, and it's really slick. So happy to have that out of the box on BlackBerry 10 and Box. So BlackBerry does not intend to become a cloud storage and cloud service company ourselves. Our heritage is in things like mobile OS and smartphones and platforms, but we plan to integrate with all of the top cloud service and storage partners out there, such as Box and Dropbox and SkyDrive, and integrate these experiences deeply into the device itself. So we have a file manager on BlackBerry 10, which allows you to access content and data stored locally on your device on an SD card, but also to be able to represent things like Box as native to the file manager. And just like you're moving files around on your device to your SD card, and you can move them in and out of the cloud just as easy. Just a couple of brief comments on application development. We've come a long way in terms of our technologies that we're employing for creating applications, and a big focus on web technology, because developing applications for the web ensure that they're going to work on a variety of platforms. So we do have lots of native application development available for BlackBerry 10 to provide the really rich and deeply integrated experiences. But we also realize that applications that are developed in web technologies can be used on any device. And so you'll see sort of a similar approach taken by a lot of the big banks who are creating apps for their customers. They're all developed in web technology, utilizing services like HTML5 to provide a rich experience, but a very lightweight, very productive experience on their applications. And BlackBerry 10 has full support for those new technologies. Now, we also realize that we have introduced a variety of new components, a variety of new platforms that are different from what people are using today in the realm of BlackBerry. And so helping customers make this transition is critical for us. And so the BlackBerry 10 Ready program is something we introduced for business customers who are using BES 5 and BlackBerry Enterprise Server today, and helping them migrate into BES 10. So I won't touch on that a lot here, but you can visit the website if you do have BlackBerry servers that you're using yourself. You can visit the website as identified at the link there, and be able to access a variety of resources such as webcasts and migration guides, and as well a license trade-in tool if you have BES licenses and you're looking to trade them in for BES 10 licenses. We offer this at no cost for customers who are looking to upgrade their BBOS devices up into BlackBerry 10. So really pleased with our ability to deliver this program and make this transition easy for our customers. Now, support is critical for us. I started off in our support organization over 12 years ago, and have seen it evolve into a world-class technical support organization. And recently, in the last couple of years, we've been privileged to win a variety of awards in customer support and customer service. And recently, we made some adjustments in our support programs. We streamlined our levels down to three levels: Basic, Advantage, and Premium. And although we are a global support organization, we don't want that to overshadow the fact that we have options that are flexible for the needs of your business. So yes, it's important to have global support and call centers in 6 time zones around the world and service level agreements, but we also realize that that's not necessary or appropriate for all customers. And so we have very flexible program levels that allow customers, at the smallest, and businesses at the smallest level, to be able to get into a program that is going to meet their needs. And so more information available on our website as well if that's something that you're looking to explore more broadly. So finally, we feel BlackBerry 10 offers some very compelling values and delivers things for small businesses that are in line with the objective of small business owners and managers. Users, we're seeing users want it. We've recently discovered that up to 1/3 or more of our new BlackBerry 10 sales are actually the people coming from other smartphone platforms. So not only do our existing BlackBerry user base excited for this new platform, but we feel we've delivered something brand new to the mobility market that doesn't exist in any other platforms out there today, and it's obviously becoming very attractive for users of other smartphones as well. And ensuring that it's fast, easy, and cost-effective to deploy is critical for small businesses. Again, as we stated at the outset, not many are looking to make large-scale investments in mobility, and so we do not want to alienate those segments of our business, and have made the fundamental changes in our smartphone platform to ensure that that however businesses are operating today, we will have a solution for them. And and from a little bit of a the visionary perspective, we realize that the small business owners really have a drive to do better, and the little things count. Every little thing they do should have a larger effect, and that these things have been achieved through hard work. And so we want to reward businesses for investing in BlackBerry by delivering to them above and beyond what is expected from an investment. So that is all I had to formally discuss. It looks like we have a little bit of time for questions and comments, so I'd be happy to take any of those at this time.
Sure. So thank you very much, Michael. Folks, be sure to use the chat feature to ask your questions, and then right towards the end, we will randomly pick an online user, okay, so someone that not only signed up and showed up and as we say, suited up, but someone that sticks with us. We're going to pick one lucky individual to win a BlackBerry Z10 mobile device, and we'll ship it out to you as soon as we get it. So these are precious right now, so be a few days to say the least. They're just getting to market. I got mine overnighted to kind of jump right into the review process, and it's really cool. While you're formulating your questions, folks, just another quick reminder that BlackBerry is a platinum sponsor at both Spring and the SMB 150 dinner, the awards dinner on May 4th for the dinner at Microsoft Redmond, and then the Spring Conference, which is May 3rd through 5th. So love to get you out here. A lot of people have Microsoft Redmond on their bucket list. It's a fantastic time to do it. Recovering economy, yada, yada, yada. Time to invest in yourself. And, of course, take a fresh and serious look at the BlackBerry 10 technology. With that said, Jenny, why don't we pop back over to you and see if we have some questions queued up today.
Fantastic. Our first question is, will BlackBerry 10 support multiple Exchange accounts on the same device?
Yes, so it will, and that's been supported by our move to ActiveSync. So you can integrate multiple ActiveSync-based accounts on the same device.
Great. Does BlackBerry 10 support Google Map?
I believe that's around the support for the Google Map applications. I don't believe there's a Google Map app natively in BlackBerry World at this point. However, as you may have seen, we have a tremendous feedback and performance result on our browser on the device, and so I can state that browsing natively to Google Maps on the device is a pretty strong experience.
What is the battery life looking like for the BlackBerry 10 phone on Verizon and then on AT&T as well?
So a lot of the battery life is going to be dependent on usage patterns, right? So if you're using the phone more, if you're doing a lot of streaming, that's obviously going to eat through battery a little quicker than traditional kind of email usage. But we are, I've been using the device for a couple months and have seen the ability to get through a day fairly easily with a single charge. And now AT&T and Verizon devices are not actually launched as of yet. They're going to be launching this week. I believe the 22nd is the date. They're starting to take pre-orders already. So we'll see what the specific variances are. But they're going to be similar. As you probably noticed in even your current devices, depending on where you are geographically, and that could impact battery consumption as well. If you're in a large city with lots of congestion, or in an area where there isn't terrific network coverage, those are things that will impact battery life. But that's always been a focus, and will continue to be a focus for us, is ensuring the optimal battery life possible on these devices.
Yeah, Jenny, I can add some value here. So because I had an advanced copy shipped out, and I'm in a little bit different role. I'm running it with AT&T, and I would tell you that it has comparable battery life to, I've got one son on the Nokia 920. My prior phone was the Apple 5. So I would raise my hand and say your battery life is comparable, if not exceeding those devices. And again, think of it as in the real world. I'm using your device. I start in the morning. I end at night. The question is, do I have to recharge? I'm not monitoring that closely. I have a business to run, and so far I've been fine. So hopefully that adds value to the conversation. Jenny, why don't we take the next question, please?
Can you repeat when Q10 will be available?
So our general guidance around that from BlackBerry is sort of the Q2, Q3 calendar timeframe. So looking in sort of the early summer. That's again dependent on carrier release schedule. So we're going through that with them right now, but that's going to be the general guidance that we're providing.
Does the BlackBerry Z10 work with Exchange Active Sync?
Yes, it does. Yep, that's something new for BlackBerry, and it has full Active Sync support.
What happens to BES and related server software with the new platform?
Yeah, good question. So BES, the traditional BES platforms, which are running our BB7 and earlier devices today, they will continue to be required if you're looking to service BB7 and earlier BlackBerry devices. In order to offer similar management capabilities on BlackBerry 10, you are required to implement BES 10 or BlackBerry Enterprise Service 10. So a similar infrastructure and similar mechanism to what you see with current BES servers today. The move to Active Sync on our BlackBerry devices does change things a little bit in terms of the connection method, but we still offer the same level of security, management, and control through BES 10. And so I'll just reiterate the BlackBerry 10 Ready program, and maybe I'll just go back to that slide here. I don't know if you guys can still see my my screen or not. Maybe not.
Maybe we can still see your screen.
Just show that there again.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. So the BlackBerry 10 Ready program offers a licensed trade-in. So again, if you're upgrading BB7 devices to BlackBerry 10 and you need to make sure you can get your BES 5 license over to BES 10, there's a no-charge upgrade available through that website and through the Enterprise Server Cal trade-in process. So I'd recommend taking a look at that. That'll also link you into the BES 10 sort of getting started pages that we'll get into a little more detail about that.
Next question. So can I have two calendars in one phone, so one personal and one work office in Balance?
Sorry, the last part of that get cut off?
Nope, no problem. Yep. Can they have two calendars in the phone, so one in the personal section and one in the work?
Yes. Yep, absolutely. So if you do have BES 10 and you have a BlackBerry 10 device enrolled into BES 10, you will have your personal space and your workspace. And so your work calendar is what would be synchronized with your work kind of mail and PIM accounts, and then your personal calendar would be separate records within your personal calendar, and they would be separated. The nice thing is that the calendar is what's known as a hybrid application, though. So whenever your workspace is unlocked, you will be able to see both your work and your personal calendar items from one calendar. So when workspace locks, your work items are then hidden, but it's the same application. Your records just tagged differently depending on where they're created.
In BlackBerry 10, or excuse me, is BlackBerry 10 a more closed source, closed ecosystem like iPhone, or more open source, open ecosystem like Android?
Yeah, so I guess you could define that in a couple different ways, and it's probably around some of the tools. We like to, obviously, everyone's probably going to say this, but we like to refer to ourselves as more of an open source in the terms of applications. Now, the operating system is very, very heavily sort of monitored and regulated by us so that we can resist fragmentation that occurs with the operating system, and that I'm not sure if that's what's being referred to in the Android reference there. Many different device manufacturers, many different versions of Android, and many different applications that are created for different versions of Android. And so that's good for some consumer segments, not as great for business segments. So we do make sure that our software releases are very well monitored and maintained, and also we own the hardware as well. So we make sure that their software is developed in conjunction with what we're doing on the hardware side of things to provide the best experience. But on the applications front, we are very open in terms of the standards that we support. So whether it's Flash, whether it's JavaScript, whether it's HTML5, all very common and new standards as well, are all supported on BlackBerry 10, and we have some of the highest performance against those standards on our application and browser that are available in the market today.
Is BlackBerry Enterprise standard, or is that extra?
So I'm going to guess that's referring to BlackBerry Enterprise Service as the platform, the server software. So the server takes a little different model. Now BES 10 takes a little bit of a different approach to the costing model. So the server itself is free and no charge, and then you would just purchase the necessary licenses that you require depending on how many devices you wanted to enroll into that.
Do we need to run BES, or will these new phones work with native Exchange Active Sync as do Android's, Windows, and iPhone devices?
Yes, these new phones will work. So we're referring specifically to BlackBerry 10 smartphones, and I'll go back to this slide here to identify the Active Sync support. So you do not require BES like you did with former BlackBerry OS devices, but you can use native Active Sync to connect to both on-premise mail servers, such as Exchange, or in the cloud mail services such as Microsoft Office 365, Google Apps for businesses. You can do that natively from the BlackBerry 10 device.
Will my customers' BlackBerry 5 and 6 OS applications run on the BlackBerry 10?
No, they will not. Those are applications created for a Java-based operating system, which was known there as BlackBerry 5, 6, and 7. BlackBerry 10 is now built off of a very different platform, a QNX OS. So they will not run. What we have been doing is working with our application partners to help them sort of port over those applications to BlackBerry 10 and get them into BlackBerry world, so that as users are upgrading into BlackBerry 10 smartphones, they'll have the same sort of applications available to them at that time.
What devices are coming up after the Q10?
We haven't made any public statements on that yet, so I won't be able to make any comments. But we do have a strong device roadmap that's geared towards sort of what we're seeing in the market. So I'm excited with some of the things that are up and coming, but we have not yet made any public statements around those.
Can you use it on Sprint?
So Sprint did announce back at our launch on January 30th that they would be taking on BlackBerry 10. I don't believe they've announced a launch date yet for BlackBerry 10. It appears it's going to be a little bit after some of the other the major U.S. carriers launch, but they definitely are planning to adopt BlackBerry 10 in the near time frame.
Did you say the current platform is based on Linux? And if it's not Java now, what is the new development language?
Yeah, so the new platform is based off of a QNX architecture. So QNX is a real-time operating system, microkernel operating system that has been in the market for over 30 years and running in some of the most sensitive environments, whether we're talking about nuclear power station management, high-speed trains, turbines, things like that. So we actually acquired QNX as a company a few years ago and used them to develop our new BlackBerry 10 OS. And so that's the basis of that. So there is a native development kit available for writing in QNX. It's a POSIX-based operating system. So you can create native applications, but we also have the ability to support all of the popular application frameworks on top of that, especially web work frameworks such as HTML5, Java, and Flash. And also we have an Android runtime on the device. So Android-based applications can be, I'll use a very general term, sort of repackaged and submitted to BlackBerry World, and those can run on the BlackBerry 10 platform as well.
Okay, hey Jenny and Mike, let me raise my hand here for a second. It's the top of the hour, and I'm happy to go over time. And in fact, I'm thrilled by the amount of questions we have. So let me tell you guys, in the world of politics, that's a good day. To have questions at the town hall meeting. That's good. So I'm sure there's more. Folks, please continue to ask questions. What we're going to do now is we're going to draw a winner from someone that's online. I promise that. We scheduled till 11 a.m. Pacific, so I want to honor that. We can certainly go into overtime if Michael's agreeable. And then I also always love to do a little housekeeping right at the end, realizing several of you will drop off to return to your day jobs. So once again, BlackBerry is and I literally mean once again, is a platinum sponsor with our event, and more importantly, the SMB 150 Awards Dinner, May 4th, Microsoft Redmond. All the details are at spring.smbnation.com. You can call me personally at extension 103. If go ahead and go to our website, look up the phone number, but I'm at extension 103, or email harryb@smbnation.com if there's anything I can do for you to seduce you, entice you, get you excited about coming on out for the spring show and the awards dinner, and quite frankly, a deep dive with BlackBerry and getting into the 10. So with that said, Jenny, could you spin the random number generator? Jenny, friends, employees are not allowed. So, Jenny, do you have a name for us, please?
I do. Our lucky winner is Tom McGee.
Oh, Tom McKee, K or G?
G. G-E.
Okay, GE. Yep. In fact, he's a big mobility guy, so that's really cool. He's a friend, but darn it, he's not an employee, so he gets to win. So, Tom, reach out to me, harryb@smbnation.com. I certainly know who you are. Reach out to me with your contact details. If I don't hear from you, we'll follow up. But and give us a few weeks on the phone as they go into the distribution channel. With that said, folks, understood that some of you must now depart our gathering. Thank you very much for attending. Let's continue. Jenny, I'm hopeful. I'm sure there's some additional questions.
We have quite a few more questions, actually, so let's get started. Can you give a quick overview of the BlackBerry Live event in Orlando?
Yeah, the BlackBerry Live event in Orlando. Yep.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I can comment too, but you go first.
Sure. I'll give a high level that from BlackBerry's perspective, and this is an event that we've been doing for probably about 10 years now, and it's had various names from Wireless Enterprise Symposium to the BlackBerry World, and this year is our brand new relaunch of that event is BlackBerry Live, and this is a 3-day event that has all of the BlackBerry experts down there across a variety of subject matter expertise, from business to support business decision makers, to support the day-to-day BlackBerry IT administrators, application development focus, security focus, really tracks that will meet the needs of and interests of anyone involved in mobility. We have vendor and partner showcases. We have some great evening activities that are planned for our guests as well. So we'd definitely encourage anyone who has the opportunity to make the trip to Orlando to take part of that. And BlackBerry Live is also more details around the scheduling, and details are available on our website at blackberry.com.
Absolutely, and quickly, what I could tell you is we have participated in that event. I knew it as BlackBerry World. Our own Chris Bangs from Vero Beach, Florida, will be attending this year, mid-May, over in Orlando. Again, it's fantastic. I don't think we have a kiosk this year. Last year, we had a little bit of a footprint with the show. I don't believe we've done that, which is fine, because that's more time for Chris to roam. And there's no bigger proponent and fan of the BlackBerry technologies than Chris, so might be a chance for some of the listeners to get on Chris's schedule and have a chit-chat about BlackBerry. Jenny, next question.
How will BlackBerry 10 work for small businesses and the BES 10 integrate without a large expense in equipment for small business users?
Good question. There's a couple opportunities available to small businesses if they're running their own kind of on-premise systems today. BlackBerry Enterprise Service 10 does not require a tremendous amount of resources, so depending on, our scalability, one server will support well beyond 10,000, upwards of 15,000 users per server. I don't think that's what we're talking about here. So obviously, one server is going to be more than sufficient for a small business. Some businesses are employing virtual machines where you can have multiple applications running on one physical server. So we support the virtualization of our software as well. So there's definitely a few options there if BES 10 is something that's required. But again, if the capabilities offered by BES 10 are not something that are a definite requirement by the business, then the native ActiveSync support on BlackBerry 10 smartphones allows you to connect those devices at no cost into ActiveSync or any other mail services that the business may be employing.
If the personal space gets malware, can it pollute the business space at all?
Yeah, so the easy answer is no. We have a very low level separation of the work and personal space on the device when the device is enrolled into BES 10 and BlackBerry Balance is there. So that was really important for us and for the IT guys to make sure that that level of separation was there. So the other comment I'll make around malware is BlackBerry has not been known for vulnerabilities there. Our applications submitted to BlackBerry World go through multi-point check, and unless the users are allowing things to happen on the device that they are aware of, then we haven't had a history of malware on BlackBerry OS up to this point either, which is confidence inspiring for a lot of existing and new users.
With BB10, will BlackBerry Messenger, BBM, be available to other service providers?
So I'm not sure if I am understanding that correctly. BBM is an application that comes out of the box on BlackBerry 10 smartphones, and as long as you have a data plan on your BlackBerry 10 device from your carrier, you'll have free access to BBM. So it's not a paid-for service. It comes right along with your existing investment in BlackBerry. So not something that's either gated or controlled by the service providers.
Does the Z10?
So I'm just saying where that question might have been going is BBM available for other devices and other platforms? Which the immediate answer is no, it's not today. So there's opportunities are definitely present for us to take advantage of around making BBM available on other platforms, but today it's BlackBerry only.
Does the Z10 have both global 4-band GSM and the ability to take up to a 64 gig micro SD card?
Yes, so we are launching BlackBerry Z10. So there's multiple variants of the device, and so we're launching variants for all of our major carriers and the networks that they support. So there'll be a variant for the Verizon network, running on LTE, and the AT&T network running on LTE, and then the other various bands around the world. So multiple variants of the devices that will provide various network support. And yes, we do support up to a 64 gig SD card in the Z10, and that will be consistent with our upcoming devices.
Hey, Jenny, just a shout out here. Joshua Lieberman from New Mexico has emailed me, really interested in the BlackBerry 10 as well. He'll be attending the conference. He'll be attending the dinner. So just affirmation and a shout out from Joshua, a longtime SMB Nation participant. So that's cool. And then the one thing I tell you about the card, or no, not SD card, I'm sorry, the SIM card. My experience this past week was on my Apple V, I had the very smallest SIM card, and my son's clamshell phone, it had the largest SIM card. I did not know there was a third size SIM card. I'm just being honest. The BlackBerry takes the middle size SIM card, so quick jump over to the AT&T store, and we got it all fixed up. And I realized that's not an SD card conversation. My confusion. Jenny, I'll go back on mute. Please continue.
Will there be an upgrade to the new operating system for the existing playbook?
Yeah, that's something that's under investigation by us. We would like to make BlackBerry 10 available on the playbook, current in-market playbook devices. So that's something that we're currently looking at doing. Have not committed a date on that yet, though.
With BES 10, can a single phone have two different numbers, such as a personal and a business phone number?
No, that is not something that the BlackBerry 10 devices will support. So we're hearing that feedback more and more, actually quite heavily from our European markets and Asia markets. So something that we're absolutely considering, but the current releases in really around the world actually will only be a single SIM support, therefore a single phone number.
All right. Let's see. Got some repeat questions here, trying to get through those. Is there a BES 10 Express freebie like in 5XX?
No, there is no BES Express for BES 10, and really the main reason we had delivered BES Express was to provide a no-cost connectivity model for previous BlackBerry smartphones, because other devices such as iOS and Android at the time were connecting to ActiveSync at no cost as well. Now that we support the ActiveSync platform on our BlackBerry 10 devices, that will allow us to provide the same no-cost connectivity model as iOS and Android and other platforms are offering today. Therefore, we will not release a BES Express for BES 10.
Does the ActiveSync function support multiple folders beneath the inbox?
Yes, it does.
Does the BES 10 require a dedicated server? Does it coexist with the Exchange 2010?
It's definitely our recommendation that it is put on its own dedicated server, and when we say that, we mean either a physical server running a single Windows instance, or its own virtual server instance running on another piece of hardware that has other virtual servers running. So, and that's for a variety of reasons. There's a few more components and software components in BES 10, so that's our recommendation. There is always ways of doing it on a server with another application, however, not recommended.
My older BlackBerry seems to freeze up often. Has this option been improved to allow all these new advanced features?
So I will say it's our new platform is significantly different, both in the hardware side of things and on the software side of things. So hardware, we're looking at a 1.5 gig dual core processor with 2 gigs of RAM, and all of the processing power you could want today, and that's important. But what's we feel is more important is our new BlackBerry 10 operating system, and so it is a new from the ground up OS that is as I mentioned earlier, has been running in market in various forms and various industries for over 30 years, and so we're experiencing a tremendous performance and reliability on the new BlackBerry 10 platform.
Now BBM in the BlackBerry 10 can have video chats. So do we need the same special BlackBerry plan from our TSP, or the normal internet plan can work?
A good question. So there is going to be a change in data plans through the carriers. So a lot of the BlackBerry Internet Service plans that you saw on BBOS devices will not be available. So standard data plans from the carriers, such as some of them may offer lower megabytes, 500 megabytes to a gig, but the standard 2 to 3 gig plans that are being used on other smartphones are what will likely be used for BlackBerry 10 devices.
If you are not using BES 10, can you still have 2 Exchange accounts that, for example, would be personal and or business without using the BES 10 servers?
Yes, you can, because even though we do use BES 10 server, we do utilize the ActiveSync profiles. So you could have multiple accounts, ActiveSync-based accounts set up on your device.
Great. And the last question is, why after operating system 7, RIM jumped to BlackBerry 10 operating system? Why was there no operating system 8 or operating system 9? What was the reason behind launching BlackBerry 10 after 7?
Well, it's probably a little bit to do with our marketing folks, but fundamentally, we made such a significant change in our overall platform and our architecture as well. So this was a brand new new launch for us, a new look and feel. BlackBerry 10 was something we were going along with throughout the whole portfolio, both on our device OS and on our enterprise platform, and that's kind of where we landed. So I don't think there was really any any intricate reasons on why we went to 10 over the other numbers, but that's where we landed.
Perfect. Well, that's all the questions I have on my end. Harry, did you have additional questions coming in on your end?
No, I don't. I will. I will as we work towards this. Folks, again, perhaps one of the first and best opportunities for you to go deep in this conversation is the SMB Nation Spring Show, our 7th annual conference, Microsoft Redmond, May 3rd through 5th, spring.smbnation.com. And that also includes the SMB 150 Awards Dinner the night of May 4th. So please join us. And BlackBerry is a platinum sponsor, so plenty of opportunity to interact with them. Great, great webinar. Haven't had one go over time in a while, so that's really cool. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Jenny. And folks, have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Great. Thank you.